All right, what's up, trash talkers? Hey, Nick coming here, and I got our guest JT. Talk a little bit about our mission statement and what we started this page for. During the COVID, when COVID struck and they canceled everything, everybody's physical therapy and behavioral health. I mean, I myself, was looking for some type of therapy, and I got my buddies together, and we decided to start talking on Zoom. And we realized that, why don't we do this for everybody? Because there's veterans hurting out there. There's active duty guys hurting out there. And, we're the strongest community for each other. And that's what we're all about. So on the show with us today on this interview today is JT. So
hello, everybody.
JT posted on the page, and I'm going to read it if he doesn't mind.
No, not at
all. I'll put it up on the screen. JT said, I just want to say right before I was invited to this group, I was having my triggers and anger going rampant. Thank you, because this has helped me more than any therapist ever could. All right, that's what he posted. Now, again, we can't tell anybody to stop seeing their therapist, but again, we wholeheartedly believe that this community and veterans are the only ones that can truly take care of each other. And with us together, and as long as you get that demon out, we'll all take it down together. So JT, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your daughter and what you did and all that kind of stuff.
So hi, as you said, my name's JT, and I'll start off by saying I'm going to continue seeing my therapist. He is good, but he was never enlisted. So I'll get back to that. But yeah, I was with USAK from 2007 all the way through 2016. I did a tour in Basra from 2009 to 10, and I got home in 2010. Since then, I've had struggles, up and down, roller coaster effect. I've had over 30 jobs since I got home in 2010, just from little things like communication, terms of respect. I was diabetic and I didn't know it for a while, so that probably had to play with it too. And I've been struggling with therapy multiple times. This is like my third time doing active therapy to help manage my behavioral health. More recently, at the end of July, the surgery I brought up on the page and stuff, and all the medical issues tied together. I was just walking on eggshells. So this site has given me the chance to, let some of that out, and some of that quirky stuff that most people don't really want to hear or accustomed to hearing, that, the way we talk to each other. And it's helped level me quite a bit with my way at home. I'm married with 2 kids, but trying to get back in school and stuff. So it's real important to keep focus and keep that camaraderie alive. 3 years out, I still wish I was in every single day. So it's pretty much the gist.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. And I mean, like I said, when I started talking to my buddies, and just the ball busting that they, you just miss that. And, people take it the wrong way when they don't understand. It's like your best friend, if he's your best friend, or if he's a veteran, might tell you just suck it up, and they're not telling that to be mean, but they know what you're feeling. They know what you're talking about. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, life's hard. Suck it up and drive on. You're a soldier. Right. And, I put this on the page a couple of days ago, that, man, if you're thinking about killing yourself, people don't realize that every time a veteran kills himself and we see it go across Facebook or whatever, I mean, a part of every one of us dies, and it's like, how can we let our brothers and sisters fall like that? And talk a little bit about what you did when you were in Iraq, if you don't mind.
So, PSYOP, basically, we're a force multiplier. We mainly attach to infantry, but we work with a little bit of everybody. And our job is literally to win hearts and minds. There's a movie on Netflix called Sandbox that actually portrays the diplomatic side of the job very, very, very well. It's kind of dry through the middle, but being a PSYOPer, there's a lot of nerdy little quirks that I really enjoyed seeing them take the time to put into the movie. And then The Men Who Stare at Ghosts with George Clooney.
That's a
Is
great
very
movie.
yeah,
That's a
it's
great
very
movie.
very very loosely based on how PSYOP came to be back in Vietnam. You know, it's a very very neat history on how it came about. You know, under the table in World War II, official in Vietnam, and you know, and then for Iraq and Afghanistan, it's one of the drives that, you know, our generals and our commanders and, you know, all the way up to the president, our commander in chief, push for, because they're realizing it creates lasting relationships and it keeps peace for longer periods of time. So we do everything from what we call tactical questioning, which the difference from that from an interrogation is after you're detained physically. But we create marketing tools and marketing products to kind of help get our messages out, establish lines of communication for the citizens. You know, like for us was Basra to call in and work with us. And, you know, it's a pretty neat job. You get to, like I said, you get to do a little bit of everything, kick in doors all the way down to working on being a father pretty much. So my job over there, I was third shift for a while, pretty much watching the compound at night and doing like whatever's left over, print jobs, organizing stuff for the XO. And then last 2 or 3 months in country, they switched me over, piggybacked me on a team, got me some team experience, you know, seeing how once the product's finished, how it gets moved around between the command and stuff. So it was a pretty neat tour. A lot of indirect fire, a lot of sneaky stuff, like I told you before the recording. And that's where a lot of my issues come from. You know, 4th of July is not a good time of year for me. If I feel that concussion in my chest, you know, that's where it starts to get hard for me. You know, the noise, you know, it'll get my attention, but it doesn't really bother me that much. Another thing was they tried kidnapping people on post a lot, and I don't know what was going on, but my bus driver one day was heading for the main gate and he wasn't listening to any direction. And that's one of the hardest things that I've been dealing with. You know, I don't like people coming up behind me. I shut myself out a lot, things like that. And having veterans who have been through these situations and different experience, different perspectives is something that keeps us strong and it keeps us understanding why these things happen. So
Yeah, that's very well said, JT. Yeah, the 4th of July, that's always a mix up between veterans. Like, you know, you'll have some people saying, you know, like, stop being a baby. And then you'll have other people like, you know, they can't handle it completely. And however, every veteran that's been in a real war zone, they know what you're talking about with that concussion. All right. When you feel that pressure, all right, that like 4th of July doesn't bother me. Like you said, the noise doesn't bother me. The explosions don't bother me, especially if I'm like watching it. But yeah, if I ever feel that concussion, because I've felt that real close up before, you know, it's like if I ever feel that inside, you know, the back of that everything starts going off, you know, and it's like,
yeah,
and you pause for a second, and it's like you take a look around and you see a McDonald's or you see like, you know, nice trees, and you're like, not anywhere near where this is not Iraq. And so it's like,
right.
yeah, like I said, you feel that concussion, and if you're not expecting it, it's a freaking horrible feeling, you know. And we got so used to it where I was in my first deployment. We got mortared twice a day, and we were on a little tiny patrol base, and it's like we got so sick in the head that it was just like, whatever, you know, like if it lands in my chew, it lands in my chew. Whatever, don't care, you know. And it's like you just got blunt to it. And but yeah, I understand what you're saying completely. It's just tough, that pressure. People come up behind you. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But on that note, you know, you get so used to it. Like I remember election month, there's times where we were hit 3, 4, 5 times a day. You know, being on third shift, our commander was a West Point grad, so he loved his ceremonies. You know, us third shift guys didn't get a whole lot of sleep. But you know, when it hit, you know, if it hit, we just, if you heard it, you're good. Pretty much is what the mindset became. We lived on camp with Riverine Squadron 2 from the Navy, and their senior chief came over, who was the mayor of the camp. We're like, oh crap, we're in trouble. He's like, no, it's cool. He's like, I'm just going around doing my rounds. I heard the noise from across the fob. I was like, honestly, I wish I could sit here and hang out with you guys. It looks fun. And then he just kept going, you
Yeah.
know. Or
What
you'd have that master sergeant. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, what's been what would you say has been your struggles as far as with therapy? Because I guarantee you, when other people hear this, there's going to be a few people that have the same problem. So you'll probably help somebody if you share that. So what are your struggles with therapy? What do you not like? What do you do like?
All right, and back to the recording. So yeah, as far as therapy goes, it took me, shoot, 2.5 years, maybe 3 years before I even stepped foot in the VA. First of all, if you're telling yourself the VA isn't going to help you, you've heard all the horror stories, they're slow, blah, 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 get involved with the VA. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made when I didn't get home right away. And the way that I ended up getting a therapist and a psychiatrist was I was at the VA for my regular checkup. I don't remember what they were doing. I just remember that I had a freak out so bad, it was either go talk to the psychiatrist or they were going to be calling mental health over in Mattoon, Illinois from Sarah Lincoln Bush to come, check me in there until I calmed down or whatever. So I started with the psychiatrist, tried some medication, didn't really work. So then we started therapy in conjunction. And, he's, like I said before, he was never enlisted, but he is very good at what he does. He taught me breathing techniques. He taught me a technique with yawning. He's taught me so many things to restructure your brain chemistry and your perspective on how your outlook is on stuff, that I was able to at least get it managed. After 9 months, I was released. The things I like best about it are literally the things that I just listed off. As far as the struggles go, there's like talking about mortars and that monotonously of just being stuck in that loop of, okay, well, whatever, I just want to lay here. When I tell him a story like that, he would not be surprised. He'd be like, I've heard that many times, but he would never personally be able to relate. So he would have to go to a structured way to deal with it. And it like I said, it helps to manage it, but never really gives you that, like, okay, that hole's filled now sensation. And I still, don't get me wrong, I still miss the Army, but talking to you guys over this time, just throwing the memes up and doing all that stuff, like, it makes me miss it less. And it makes me feel like I'm actually still involved in stuff,
Yeah, for sure. You are involved. And that's the whole point. We're a family, we're a family of veterans, and we're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of each other. And our main saying is, the demon's inside you and you have to get it out and you got to crush it together, and we'll all crush it together. And I really appreciate you coming on. I guarantee you people are going to watch this, and there's going to be people who are going to gain a lot from your courage to come out and talk to us and to share your story. All right. You're going to help people. That's a fact. And then again, there's a stigma that, you don't want to go talk to a therapist. And I mean, I can brag about myself all I want, all the schools I've been to, the firefights I've been in, but I mean, I go to therapy, and then they took it away from me with this stupid COVID thing. Like, I couldn't go see my shrink. I couldn't go to physical therapy. Like there are phone calls, like, you're going to phone call me and fix my knee and back, or how's that work? And it's just, so the pain mentally and the pain physically, it just piles up on all of us. If we don't vent it to each other, and we don't, like I said, sometimes when somebody says, hey, stop being a baby, Nick, like, that's what I maybe needed to hear. Right. And it's like, because I'm starting to, take on too much and feel sorry for myself. And then, like I said, there's that stigma that I can't say I have PTSD. I can't say that. I can't go see a shrink. All right. I'm telling you right now, if you think that way, you're dumb. All right. I'm talking to the Trash Talk audience, right? JT said the biggest mistake he made was not going to the VA sooner. And again, we appreciate him coming on. We appreciate him sharing his story. And that's 100% what we're here for. We're here to help each other. And that's it. And we want to get huge. We want to be the biggest veteran community outside of, you know, the Army and Marines itself. And like I said, we want to get big enough where we can buy property and throw retreats, all kinds of stuff, you know, have parties, have poker games, beer pong tournaments, all that fun stuff, you know, and just like all hang out. So again, JT, thanks for coming on. It was an absolute blast. And we really appreciate you being part of this family and sharing your story.
Hey, happy to be here and happy to have you guys as family. And thanks again for having me on. You know, this is awesome. And it's something that's happening at a crucial time where I think it's very well needed. You know, thank you guys for starting this and getting it rolling.